Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday the 7th of October. So looking at the markets this morning, actually, well, obviously the news overnight that Trump's put a halt to the stimulus talks until after the election. It's obviously affected the markets. Markets immediately went sold off, dollar sold off, dollar gained. Everything else sold off. We're seeing a bit of a rebound this morning so far. We'll see how this goes with the euro, etc. Before I move on to other factors, just looking at possible market moving news. Risk elements today. We've got the FOMC meeting minutes later at 7 p.m. this evening, and that's just about it. So where to today then? As I say, at the moment the euro's catching a bit of a bounce. The bids there on this 4 hourly, it's ending in about a minute. It's going to put in a bullish pivot swing. A solid up day towards its daily pivot here, running at the moment. So let's just wait and see this morning a little bit. I think on the retrace it might give us an opportunity. Any retrace may just as easy be a resell of this sort of original movement here, but you're going to have to judge this carefully this morning. I prefer still the euro to be on the upside, but we'll see how these things pan out here. Okay, so pound, well, that's sold off again, catching the bounce here. It's been in this sort of upward trend that's kicking in there. It didn't lose too much of that movement overnight there. We're just moving on into the 8 o'clock zone here, and well, as I say, it's not put a bullish pivot swing, but it's quite a reasonable couple of bars there, little inside bar, then a follow through there. So bullish harami, and it's looking positive, but again, just need to see the reaction towards this daily pivot. They're near enough there now. They're not very many pips either of them away from it, and of course you've got these moving averages. Is 30 minutes. Just switch this to a 60 minute. You've got these key moving averages here. We're into the 60-21 at this moment, but we'll just see how the price reacts to these. Maybe if we can get a bit more upside, we'll be buying on the retracement from there. But that's where we're sitting at the moment. Dollar yen. So yen, well, yen didn't do too much with all that movement last night, and it's sort of it's unusually, when we normally see money run to risk, we haven't seen it run towards the yen. It too softened up, and it's just continuing in this sort of softer mode at the moment. So maybe we've got further upside to come there on the dollar yen. So that's where we are there. So maybe risk is back on this morning. It certainly looks like it's back on this morning, and we may see further upside continue. Aussie dollar. So Aussie, solid old down day yesterday, and again catching a bid at the moment inside bar on the previous 4 hourly towards a bullish harami. It's a big bar though, and we've seen this continuation as well. So again, got continuation to the upside. It's pushed through its daily pivot here, weekly pivot. Again, it's just a bit of watch this morning and see if we catch a retrace to buy into, and see if we can push these back, see if they can push back up towards here for the R1 and maybe beyond. It's not too far away from its key moving averages where it sits at the moment. Okay, Canadian dollar. So Canadian dollar, it's run into its pivot there, run into the monthly. No, it's the weekly pivot it's run into. It's bounced off the monthly pivot there and run into this weekly pivot. It's looking at the moment from here quite a decent bearish sort of move here. It just chipped above those prior highs there, but not significantly, and it still looks like, well, it could be continuing. We could see a continuation of that downside. Again, we're sitting into a 60-21 here. Daily pivot below, maybe if it can continue to break, or see if we get a retrace into these markets, and we'll be able to sell into them, sell into this one at least. Okay, that's the CAD. Finally, New Zealand dollar. Well, same sort of movement here overnight. It's large movement on the Trump movement comment. Really pushed through there, right through the key moving averages. New Zealand dollar last week I was a bit softer. I thought it was a bit softer. It may still continue that mode, but a solid turnaround where it is now. A bit of divergence towards the lows on this 60-minute, and well, again, it's a bit of wait and see. We could be just running into this daily, or to this 221 and daily pivot that all sitting around there, and see it selling off into that again. So bit of wait and see when you get this sort of flushy sort of moves that come out with comments coming. So the euro just running into its daily pivot now, so watching this carefully. If it just starts selling off again from here, I'll be on the sell side. If it's manages to hold up, turn around, well, we'll look at see if we get a bit more of a continuation, but at the moment it looks a little bit softer. Okay, S&Ps just briefly. There's the reaction to Trump there, sold off, but again recovering overnight there, because I think Trump softened his tone, saying he would sign off on some parts of any deal or whatever else. So there we are. That's today. As I say, FOMC minutes later. They've not done a lot lately. There's not been a lot in them that hasn't already been discussed, so I'm not expecting major moves. And we've got Lagarde speaking later this afternoon as well. But again, she's been speaking. She was speaking yesterday. We had loads of speakers yesterday. Volatile all day at times. I will leave it there. Have a great day. Bye for now.